Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, Tales from the Pen. If you're new to the channel, please go down and hit subscribe. Maybe a like afterwards, maybe a comment. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. But again, if you're new to the channel, what I usually do here, I usually speak about my jail experiences, about Rikers Island, about upstate, things like that. Right now, we're not going to speak about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about life. And in my last video, you could tell that I didn't really have that much energy. That's because, let me explain. When I do these videos, I don't write anything down. I just freestyle with it. I know that I have certain PowerPoints that I'm going to go with, and I just go from there. Never wrote anything down. Call me the Jay-Z or Biggie of this thing here, right? So, coming into last night, I did the video late last night, early in the morning. So, coming into it, I knew what I was going to talk about. And just even thinking about what I was going to talk about brought me down and brought me to a dark place, right? And sometimes when you're in a dark place, it's hard to see the light, right? So last night's video was kind of rough on me, only because while I was telling the stories, in case you missed it, I talked about solitary confinement, and I talked about a couple of the beatdowns that I got in solitary confinement. And when you're in solitary confinement, you do a lot of self-reflecting. You do a lot of thinking, and you ask yourself a lot of questions. At least I did. I used to ask myself questions like, why? Why am I going through this hell? Right? And I used to ask questions like, why me? You know, like on some feeling bad for myself type thing. Until one day I washed my face, woke up and said, you know what? Why not me? Why not me? Right? I was young when I went to prison, and you know what? People need to hear my story, so I could save some other kids. This became my motivation. And I've spoken all over since I've been home. I've spoken at a few high schools, a few junior high schools. I've been to Brooklyn Borough Hall, been to the UN. You know, I've done a few things. But now I decided I wanted to take this to the next level, right? Because why? Because I feel good about this. This gives me gratification. This gives me self-gratification. This makes me feel good about myself. Which leads me to my next topic. I made this whole theory up. I call it the snooze button factor. If you hit your snooze button 3, 4, 5 times in the morning because you do not want to get up and you hate your job, then guess what? You need to change your life. Because you're going to be miserable. And you're going to bring everyone around you misery as well. You're going to bring them down too. Because what happens is, there's no way you can go to work 8, 9, 10 hours a day and do something that you hate and come home and have a positive relationship with your family. There's no way that you could go to work and do something that you despise and come home and have a positive relationship with your partner. It affects everything. It's a full circle. You have to feel good about who you are. You have to feel good about what you're doing. You know, this is a fact. It's pretty amazing, because this is some of the stuff I'm teaching right now to my 11-year-old daughter. Right? I'm teaching her that if you find something that you love to do, and this is for all you kids out there, if you find something that you love to do and you can make that your work, you've got half of life answered right there. You've got half life answered, because what happens is self-gratification, feeling good about who you are, is underrated in the pursuit of happiness. Let me rewind that. Self-gratification is underrated in the pursuit of happiness. Why? Let me tell you why. Because when you're feeling good about yourself and you're feeling good about what you do, it reflects everything. It shines. Because what happens is you walk with a different pep to your step, a purpose, so to speak. Your shoulders are up square, your chin is up high, right? And you have a different swag about you when you're feeling good about yourself. And what happens is you attract different type of crowd too. You attract different kind of people. Misery is going to attract misery. That's facts. You know, that's a fact. You know, the rest of this is just theories I made up, right? But that part's a fact. Misery is going to attract misery. That's the way it works. So if you could do something that you love to do and you can get paid for it, then half your life is already figured out. Everything's gonna go smooth. And then you have the people who may say, you know what? I have this good job, it pays well, it has benefits, but I hate it. I say you have to change it, because there's no way you can go somewhere and be miserable all day long and be happy with yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to you to change those circumstances. You have to start to devise some type of plan, make it a year plan, make it a 2-year plan, whatever it is, to get out of that toxic situation that you're in and put yourself in a better place. And you will feel better about yourself. You will feel better about life. This is what I'm preaching. This is what I'm telling my 11-year-old now. And I'm expressing this now to you guys. And I'm expressing this now to grown folks too. If you have to change your circumstances, do it. And even if it's not about the job, even if it's something that you don't like, maybe you want to change your eating habits, you can do it. Maybe if you want to go to the gym and lose some weight, you can do it. You just have to say, nothing is going to stop me. And this is what I'm going to achieve. And you set yourself some goals. Set them small. If you want to run a marathon, no, and you haven't jogged a day in your life, then hold on now. Let's train a little bit and let's run the 5K first. You have to set some goals, some short-term goals to get to your long-term goals, right? Because here's the reality. The reality is visions and dreams are a blueprint to your success. You have to dream it first. You have to believe that you can do it. And once you start believing in yourself, once you start taking the initiative to change certain things in your life, you're going to find out that karma is with you. You're going to find out that life is with you. You just have to take that first step and make that change. It's simple. It's real simple. I just wanted to do a little something different today. Other than talk about my jail experiences, I wanted to give people maybe some positive words, maybe some motivation, to understand that, hey, you know what? He's right. I need to change. And hey, let's get this straight. I understand clearly change is hard. And change is hard for people, period. Right? But you have to ask yourself, if you're not happy with something and you're not feeling good about this thing, how bad can change be? Can it be worse than what you're already going through now? They say sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side, but hey, sometimes it is. I used to do a construction job, wake up early in the morning, drill the streets of New York. I hated it. I decided I needed to change my life, did something else. Bought a Suburban, and now I do driving for a living. I'm my own boss. I make my own hours. I pay my own taxes. I'm not saying this to glorify what I'm doing. I'm just saying is if anybody can make a change, you can do it. I did it. I love what I do. I love, meeting new people. I picked up numerous semi-famous clients, and, my life has changed since I decided to make a change. Again, you have to decide to make the change, and you have to sometimes take chances. Chances in life sometimes, again, are hard for people as well as change, but you can do it. I did it. You can do it. That's enough, for right now. That's enough for today. That's enough of the motivational speaking. But I'm going to have different things going on here. I'm going to do some motivational speaking. We got a lot of things planned for eventually for this site. I'm going to do interviews with people. I'm going to do interviews with ex-prisoners. So they can tell their story and share with you guys as well. I'm gonna do a cooking segment, because there was a lot of different cooking with a lot of different recipes going on in the penitentiary. All that's coming. Just stay with me. Again, if you like what I'm talking about, please go down, hit subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and definitely hit the like button. For now, Fred White, signing off.